Welcome to Spacecraft Guide, the channel that goes over the most iconic spacecraft in the world. In this issue of Spacecraft Guide, I am going to continue to show you how the space shuttle flies in outer space without any air. And if you stay to the end, I am going to show you how you can win a book whose text is going to the surface of the moon in a time capsule, and how to get your name associated with that. But before we do, we're going to continue this week on the space shuttle and a component that helps it fly in outer space, the RCS system, and it's going to be the forward helium pressure switches. And when you click on it, it takes you to the forward reaction control system helium pressure A and B switches, which are A and B, these switches right here. Now, what these switches do is they permit the helium source pressure to flow to the propellant tank. As you see, here's the helium pressure, and here is part of the propellant, and here's the other part. The helium pressure is pushing the oxidizer and the fuel. The switch positions are open, GPC, and close. When the switch is in GPC, well, let's look at the positions here. We have open, GPC, and close. When the switch is in the GPC position right here, the pair of valves can be closed automatically upon command from the orbiter computer. So GPC, General Processing Computer, that's what that stands for. So the switches here to push helium into the propellants is going to be controlled by the computer. Now it's also going to, if it's not needed, it's going to shut it off. Now that is to protect the amount of helium that you have, because honestly, that's what's really driving the space shuttle. If you didn't have this helium, the propellant, the oxidizer, and the fuel would not have any pressure behind it, and the shuttle might not be able to move or get into the correct orbit or come into to land, or come into the atmosphere correctly. So that's a big switch here. And the open-close position permit manual control of the pair of valves. So what this is for, open and close, is open when the pilot wants to use the thrusters, but the General Processing Computer is telling it that, well, maybe you don't want to use it just yet. So this is the manual way to do it. Or if there is a problem with the computer and it's like, why are you opening that? Why are you opening the helium pressure? We don't need it right now. The crew can close it to stop any helium, which is precious, from leaking off the spacecraft. So that is what we have this week for our free subscribers. Now, if you are a Patreon subscriber, and what that means is that you are free subscriber, which you'll be able to find out down below here in the video. You'll be able to get into the schematics, or if you're a paying subscriber, which is $6 a month, and that also, not only does that give you, we're going to go into schematics, we're going to go deeper into the system of the reaction control system, a little bit of the history and how this all works. So if you are a Patreon subscriber, it doesn't cost anything if it's free, and you click on schematics, it takes us to the schematic diagram here of the forward RCS system. And here you see the helium tank with the pressure on each side. Now here we have the A and B pressure, and that's the valve that is going to be moving the helium into the oxidizer. Well, here it's the fuel. On this side, it's the oxidizer. So we're opening up the valve, and that is the qual check valves here, and that is going to put helium into here. It's the fuel or oxidizer on that side. So you can see that that is what's going to be pushing the the oxidizer or the fuel, what is called the propellants, to the next level that we've talked about already. And this pressure is coming in, and it's going to go down into the manifolds. And you'll see there's a manifold on this side, or there's a manifold here for the fuel, and then a manifold here for the oxidizers, and they are going through the switch that we talked about, the isolation switches for them. So that's, and if we come down here, let's just go a little bit lower. If we come down here, we see that switch in action. We have the helium up here. We have the indicator, which we'll go over next week, that's telling whether this switch has opened or closed the valve to let the helium go into the oxidizer and the fuel. And the switch, as you can see, one section goes, part of that goes in, the helium comes into here, and it also goes over to the other side. So that means that one switch can power the oxidizer and the fuel in case one of these tanks either ruptures or leaks all of its high helium out, or if the valve is not working correctly. You can cross use this on the schematic. You can see that here. So that's all we have for our free members. If you are a paying member, and if you want a more detailed explanation of those lights, buttons, and switches that are in those virtual tours, well, you're just going to have to join the Space Interactive Virtual Museum at one of the paying tiers. And if you click here, or you go to the page, back to the page, click on Home, you'll be able to see the tiers and what they will get for you. So if you want to join for free, which means it does not cost you anything, and you would like to get to see this, come join us on the Spacecraft Interactive Virtual Reality Museum for free, and you might even find some Easter eggs that I put in here like this.